Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dear friends, I am very happy to be here this evening once again at AMA. It is always a pleasure to talk to the enlightened audience of AMA. The subject for the 3 lecture series, as you know, is management of everyday life. There were a lot of talks about management, but that is all related to industrial houses and business houses. People have got this misconception, management means business management. This misconception has come from the year 1930. Before that, management was management. Management is nothing but organized common sense, and common sense is that which is uncommon. But it is nothing but an accumulated knowledge of the techniques developed over a period of years, experiences. So that is what called management, and management related to all aspects and all fields. Not only industries, not only business houses, service industries, offices, kitchens, all aspects. And we always tend to forget our own selves. We know how to manage the industries, we know how to manage the business houses, we know what we want to, we can manage the whole world excepting ourselves. So managing ourselves, that is the most important thing. So Peter Drucker says, the management guru, American management guru says, in his book, The Essential Drucker, that somehow or the other this misconception has come that management is business management. It is almost like saying that pediatrics is medicine. It is not medicine, it is only a part of medicine. So business management is only a part of total management subject. So management deals with all types. It is a very broad concept and dealing with every aspect of life. So when we are talking here about this management, we are talking about the techniques that have evolved over a period of years. So many periods. It is an accumulated knowledge of thousands of years of great thinkers of East and West, which I would like to put before you. Now in the field of management, the 4th wave is coming. You know, the first wave was the British style of management, when work study, method study, work measurement, Taylor's method of work measurement were in vogue, the British style of management. The second style of management became popular was the American style of management, when Peter Drucker became the guru of all. The third style of management was the Japanese style of management, when TQM, total quality management, zero defect, became in vogue. Now slowly the 4th wave is creeping, very slowly but surely, and that is the holistic style of management. Not only in India, all over the world. So many companies in America are now going for Vedantic style of management, the holistic style of management based on Vedanta philosophy. Now even the industrial houses, the business houses and the various service sector industries are going for the 4th wave of management, that is the holistic style of management. This topic that we are dealing with, that is management of everyday life, will be also naturally inclined towards this 4th wave, that is the Vedantic style of management or the holistic style of management. M.R. Thiessen, Amsterdam-based management expert, says we must have a paradigm shift in our management philosophy. The whole worldview has changed. Modern quantum mechanics has told it is a holistic universe. Bell's theorem states that all the particles of the whole universe are interconnected at deeper level, which has been experimentally verified by the Nobel Prize physicist David Bohm. It has been established fact this is a holistic universe. Our theories regarding the modern quantum mechanics have changed. Our theories regarding the universe have changed. Our whole society has changed. The technologies have changed. It has become one world. It has become a global village Communication technology has evolved through internet, cyberspace. We are all now more interconnected, and with faster transport services, we are all one. And Alvin Toffler says, it is the age when it will be the survival of the fastest, not the fittest. Darwin said survival of the fittest. But Alvin Toffler says, no, survival of the fastest. Because the whole world is moving at a very fast speed. So we must have an intuitive faculty. That is why they were given it a name, Transcendental Management. When you can transcend the ordinary sense, the ordinary decision making, and can visualize the future strategies that will be coming in the world, because we have to move very fast. That is why they have given the name Transcendental Management. And so, M.R. Thiessen says in her book, The Rhythm of Managing, that we must have a paradigm shift. We must adopt a holistic paradigm in our management philosophy. And if we do not have a paradigm shift, we will have paradigm paralysis. We have to be prepared for that. So, all the major industries now are inclined towards going for the fourth wave of management, the holistic style of management. New leadership qualities, that is servant leadership, is becoming very popular. Robert Greenleaf started in 76, but now it is becoming very popular. But it was practiced thousands of years back by Sri Krishna, becoming a charioteer, the kingmaker, becoming a charioteer, an ordinary charioteer, demonstrating the value of servant leadership. In our own times, Swami Vivekananda, Mahatma Gandhi demonstrated the servant leadership, which now is becoming very popular in America. So people all over the world are now going for the fourth wave of management, that is holistic style of management based on Vedanta philosophy. Now we will try to see how we can have the management of everyday life based on these principles of management, particularly the Vedantic style of management. Now, you know, one of the important techniques of management is work study. And the tool for work study is method study. And the most important aspect of that method study is critical examination. When you critically examine a particular activity, you find a particular activity can be done in better way with less resources, and that will increase your productivity and increase your profitability. So critical examination is very important. When you apply critical examination, you find, is it really so? Then you find out, no, it can be done in a better way. There is always a better way of doing things. But there is one more part to it. There is always a better way of not doing the thing. That is, when you critically examine the purpose of the activity, you find out this activity was started 100 years back. Now the king is gone, but the bell is ringing. King gone in 1947, but the bell is ringing. Why? Somebody started that custom, so it is going on ceremoniously. So you ask the question, is it really so? Is it really? What is the purpose? Why? Ask why, and you will find out it is not needed. So most important tool for the management is critical examination, especially with respect to purpose. Now let us try to critically examine our life. What is life? Life is a period between birth and death, span between birth and death. This is what we know. We are not going to philosophy, what happens after death and how are we reborn. Let us not go into technicalities, but at least this much with the common sense we can know, life is a span between birth and death. At least this we are sure of. I hope all of you are sure. So if that is true, birth and death, this time span, at least we are sure, this span we want to see managed in such a manner that gives us maximum of happiness, maximum of peace, maximum of fulfillment. What is the purpose of life? Why do we live? This is where the crux of the whole thing comes. So many youngsters come to me. I have been meeting thousands of youngsters. I have been asking this question to them. Have you ever thought what is the ultimate purpose of your life? First of all, they say, I know purpose of life, become a doctor, engineer, chartered accountant. No. What is the ultimate aim of your life? I never thought about it. When will you start thinking? When do you tell the driver where you want to go? The driver has taken your car to the railway station and then you start scolding him. Why did you bring to railway station? I wanted to go to the airport. I said, the driver will tell, you should have told me earlier. When we start, that time you should tell that I want to go to the airport. Every day we come to whenever we go for last few weeks, we have been going to the railway station. So I came to the railway station. No, but I booked my air ticket. Driver says, I don't know. While boarding the car, the first question that the driver should ask is, where do you want to go? And we have started our car, the journey, our life journey, but we have never asked this question, where do we want to go? There's a Zen story. A horse was galloping at full speed. And somebody asked the person who was sitting on the horse, where are you going? And the person said, ask the horse. Because I am not driving the horse. Horse is taking me. I am not taking the horse. I am not leading the life. Life is leading me. I am not enjoying the life. Life is enjoying me. We do not know where we are going. What is the ultimate aim of life? What is the ultimate destination? What do we want to achieve before we die? No, we are like flock of sheep. Everybody going, running after career, running after making money, running after power, position, name, fame, publicity, going mad, everybody. It is a rat race. No, I will fall behind. It's a very fast, survival of the fastest. Let me run fast. Doesn't matter if I have to go for bypass surgery. Doesn't matter. Let me go fast. I asked me, what is the aim of life? Enjoy. Are you enjoying? No. When will you enjoy? When the doctor says, now already 3 heart attacks have come, now the 4th attack is waiting. At that time you will start enjoying. Now at present I am busy in making money, opening branches, in doing business. No time for going with the family members. No time to go for summer vacation. The children are going, but I have opened new branch, you don't know. Only for you I am earning. No time. No time to enjoy. And then suddenly you find already you are in the intensive care unit and the warning has come, finished. And you can't take a single paisa with you. You can't take the latest model car that you had ordered. It has already arrived, but you can't drive that car to the abode of death. There you have to go without that car. And your beautiful dresses are all left behind. And your fixed deposit left behind. Switzerland bank also and Indian bank also. Everything left behind. Nothing you can carry. What if? We have never thought about it. There was one man, sane man, and that was Siddhartha. And only once did he come he was not allowed to go out of the palace. But he told his father, let me go and see what is happening to the things around. And that was enough. Only 3 scenes he saw. One, the old man tottering with his stick. Another, a sick man gasping for the breath. And third, a dead man being carried away. And he asked the charioteer, what is all this about? Beautiful book is there, Light of Asia by Edwin Arnold. What beautiful poetry. And you see how it is, guys. Siddhartha is asking, will it happen to me? What is this old age? This is old age. Why is he walking like this? Why is he not walking straight? Because it is old age. Now will it come to me? Yes, it will come to everybody, provided he does not die before that. And what is death? Death can come to anybody. But I don't want to die. Well, here you don't have any choice. Any person who is born has to die. At the most, you may go for 120 years, breaking all the world record. That's all. But you have to die. You have to die. One who is born has to die. This body has to go. When you come across this, then you start thinking, then what is the ultimate aim of my life? Ultimate purpose of life? Why are we living here? Just for dying? Then what is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life? This is why Carl Jung, one of the greatest psychologists of our time, says, 1/3 of my patients are not suffering from any clearly definable neurosis. They are all suffering from a sense of emptiness of their life, the lack of meaningfulness of life. They don't know what is the meaning of life. That is why they are suffering. So, this particular phenomena, where we do not know where we are heading for, what is the purpose of life? And that is why now the modern psychologists have started thinking, no, the earlier people had some wisdom when they thought about it. And so, Abraham Maslow, one of the greatest psychologists of our time, says in his book, The Farther Reaches of Human Nature. So far he was talking only about self-actualization, but in there he has put another word, self-transcendence. We have to transcend our limitations. What is the special purpose for which we are born? What is the difference between a man and an animal? There is a beautiful book by Teilhard de Chardin. The name of the book is The Phenomena of Man. There, he critically examines this issue. What is the difference between a man and an animal? And somebody says, intelligence. Man is more intelligent. Teilhard de Chardin says, not necessarily. He gives an example. You have kept some very good milk in an almirah in your kitchen, and you find when the next day morning you find that the cat came and stole away the milk. So next time what do? Next night, you try to hide the milk at a very different place, just only to find that next day morning again the cat has taken away that milk. So he is more intelligent. Cat is more intelligent, taken away the milk. Then what is the difference between a man and an animal? Then he says beautifully, while a man knows what he knows, an animal does not know what he knows. This is the difference. Man knows what he knows, but an animal does not know what it knows. The cat knows how to steal the milk, but whether it is good to steal the milk or not, whether it is good to have the knowledge of stealing or not, that power of discrimination is not there with the cat or with an animal. There is one special power, that is the power of discrimination, faculty of discrimination, vivek buddhi, that is called viveka. This is only with the human beings. That is why our scriptures said, our wise people said in the olden times, the purpose of human life is different from other animals and other other species. Out of 84 lakhs of species, only human beings have got this power of faculty of discrimination or vivek buddhi, and only human beings can transcend themselves, and only human beings can have self-knowledge. Only human beings can go about out of themselves and can have mukti of freedom, and that is the special purpose for which a human being is born. And this is the difference. Ahar nidra bhay maitunancha samana metat pashubhi naranam dharmo hi tesham adhiko visheshah dharmena hina pashubhi samana. 4 things are common between man and animal. Ahar. Animals also take food, we also take food. We may be taking 36-course dinner, the animals may be taking 4-course dinner, doesn't matter, but they are also taking food. Ahar, nidra, they also sleep, we also sleep. Bhay, they also get afraid, we also get afraid. Maitunan, they also procreate, the human beings also procreate. These 4 things are common between man and animal. The difference is, Ahar nidra bhay maitunancha samana metat pashubhi naranam dharmo hi tesham adhiko visheshah dharmena hina pashubhi samana. This spirituality, this power of discrimination, it is this which differentiates a man from an animal. This is the only difference. And without this power of discrimination, a man and animal are equal. No difference. Dharmena hina pashuvi samana. They may be walking with 2 legs, but animals with 2 legs. It's animal nature. So this particular phenomena, this particular capacity is only with the human beings. That is why Einstein said in his book, The World as I See It, he says, the true value of a human being is determined primarily by the measure and the sense in which he has attained to liberation from the self. The true value of a human being is determined primarily by the measure and the sense in which he has attained to liberation from the self. Einstein says in his book, The World as I See It. And there's another book by Lincoln Barnett. The name of the book is The Universe and Dr. Einstein. And there he says, man has a unique capacity. Man has a unique capacity of transcending himself and perceiving himself in the act of perception. Neil Bohr says, we the man, the human beings, are spectators and actors in this great drama of life simultaneously. This is a special prerogative of human beings. Ram and Ravana, both are fighting on the stage. Rama knows I am Rama, Ravana knows I am Ravana. At the same time they know that my actual name is Suresh and his name is Ramesh. And when both are fighting, they are also hitting each other. But they are very careful that don't hit each other very harshly. Why? Because they know after 5 minutes they will be in the green room taking coffee together. So they are spectators and actors in this great drama of life. We are all like that. We know we are working. We are working and we are aware that we are working. Of course, sometimes, most of the time we are not aware, but we can make our mind aware. We can develop that capacity of being aware. Every time we can be alert what I am doing. This capacity of being aware is only with the human beings. This is a special prerogative of human beings. And now the modern science has come to a rescue where it has been now finally proved. The latest book by Dana Zohar, she is a professor in Oxford University. She says in her book, SQ, Spiritual Intelligence, the Ultimate Intelligence, where she says neurologically, physiologically, biologically, psychologically, from every point of view there is a concluding evidence, there is something called SQ, which is the basis of both IQ and EQ. What is IQ? Intelligence quotient. IQ will tell you how to play the game of life. What is EQ? Emotional quotient, emotional intelligence. Daniel Goleman made a research in 1991 and said EQ is more important than IQ in the field of management. IQ will tell you how to play the game of life. But EQ will tell you how to play the game of life under changed circumstances with changed strategies. And what is SQ? SQ will tell you whether to play the game of life at all or not. Well, that is your choice. That's your choice. What is the purpose of life? What is the meaning of life? Why I am here doing this drama? What is the purpose for which I have come to the world? Now, this capacity of being aware of what I am doing, of what is the purpose of life, asking myself why I am here, this why can be only asked by a human being, nobody else. And another discovery of the modern science, Dana Zohar says, IQ is available with all the species, including the computers. EQ is available only with a few species, not all species. And SQ is available only with the human species, no other species. Just imagine, thousands of years back, our wise people, they said, in India, out of 84 lakhs of species, only human species can have spiritual knowledge of freedom or mukti or liberation. Now the modern science says, no, no, no. There are 125 lakhs of species. Of course, not much different. Not a very big difference. The cloning and so many things are going on, And microscope have come, that time no microscope. Even with that, they are coming very close. The modern science says there are 125 lakhs of species. But they also say, out of 125 lakhs of species, only human species have got SQ, no other species. And this is a special purpose of life for which we are born. But unfortunately, we have forgotten. आया था किस काम से तू सोया चादर तान कर समय हुआ अब जाग गाफिल अपना आप पहचान रे. किस काम से आया था? For what purpose have we had come? We have forgotten. The special mission for which we had come to this earth, we have forgotten. And we are behaving just like animals, refined animals, but sometimes in a grosser way. Refined enjoyments, but more selfishly than even the animals. For what purpose we have come, we have forgotten. This is the special purpose. So Vedanta says, inside each and every human being, there is a center of consciousness having infinite knowledge, infinite bliss, infinite happiness, infinite knowledge, infinite bliss, infinite happiness, eternal soul. Esha sarveshu bhuteshu gudo atma na prakashate drishyate tvagraya buddhya shukshmaya shukshmadarshibihi. Inside every human being there is a center of consciousness. Esha sarveshu bhuteshu, irrespective of caste, creed, color, religion, nationality. There is no bracket there. Sometimes we put the bracket. So and so, minus so and so, minus so and so. No. Esha sarveshu bhuteshu. Inside each and every human being, there is a center of consciousness. Gudo Atma, Atma. The Atman is there. Na prakashate. It is hidden. It is not visible. If it is not visible, then what is the proof? Proof is drishyate. Some people have seen it. You may not have seen it, but some people have seen it. Who have seen it? Drishyate tagraya buddhya shukshmaya shukshmadarshibi. Those who have developed very fine intellect, those who had got that SQ, that spiritual intelligence, they have seen this Atman. That is the proof. That is the evidence. Swami Vivekananda also was educated like us in Lord Macaulay's education policy. And so naturally, after reading Kant, Hegel, Spencer, John Stuart Mill, all those Western thinkers, he became an agnostic. He lost all faith in God. He said, I don't believe in God. What is the proof? And any saint coming to Calcutta, he would just go to him and said, you are talking too much about God. Have you seen God? Nobody could answer. But he wanted to know the truth. He was very inquisitive. He wanted to know the truth. What is the reality? Then one day he went to Maharishi Devennath Tagore, the father of Rabindranath Tagore. At that time he was staying in a cabin on a boat. He used to stay and immersed in meditating on God. One day he went there, entered the cabin. Sir, I want to ask a question. Yes, my boy. I've heard that you are remaining immersed in meditating on God. I want to ask a question. Sir, have you seen God? Devennath Tagore looked at Narendranath. That time Swami Vivekananda's name was Narendranath Dutt. He was a college student of Scottish Church College. Maharishi Devennath Tagore looked at Narendranath for some time and said, my dear boy, your eyes are beautiful, those of a yogi. Narendranath became disappointed. I am asking the question, have you seen God? He is telling your eyes are beautiful. I don't want appreciation of my eyes. I want my answer. Nobody could say. One day he had gone to the college. That day, the professor who used to teach English literature was absent. The principal, Professor William Hastie himself, came to take the class on English literature. And he was teaching them a particular poem by Wordsworth, the name of the poem, The Excursion, in which the poet describes how, by seeing natural beauty, his mind goes into superconscious state, in samadhi state. And then the students ask, sir, is it possible that somebody can go beyond consciousness, go to superconscious, enter samadhi state? Is it possible? Then the professor said, the principal William Hesty said, yes, my boy, it is possible. I have myself seen a person who frequently enters into this state of samadhi, superconscious state. And if you want, you can also see that person, because that person lives in Calcutta only. There is the temple of Dakshineshwar. There a saint lives, Sri Ramakrishna Paramhans. He enters into this samadhi state very frequently. And Narennath immediately went to Dakshineshwar and entered the room where Sri Ramakrishna was sitting on his cot and talking to the devotees. Narennath sat down one corner. After some time, he said, now enough of talk about God. Now answer my question. Have you seen God? And for the first time, he received a satisfactory reply. Sri Ramakrishna said, yes, my boy, I have seen God. Not only that, he said, I am seeing Him more intensely than I am seeing you. And then he said, if you want, you can also see Him, but you will have to perform spiritual practices. That is science of religion. H2 plus O2 is equal to H2. Hydrogen is a gas, oxygen is a gas. How it can give water? It's not a question of belief. Come to the laboratory, mix hydrogen, oxygen, have a little process. And after that, if we don't get water, then say, I don't believe in all this philosophy. Sri Ramakrishna says, I have seen God. You also can see Him. But you have to come to the laboratory, perform spiritual practices. Narennath accepted the challenge. He performed spiritual practices. And then he entered into samadhi himself. He had a direct perception of that Godhead, supreme reality. He entered into samadhi when he was in Kashipur Garden House. That is why, because he had a direct experience of that ultimate reality, that is why in Chicago Parliament of Religions, on 11th September 1893, not that 9/11, World Tower broken. This is another 9/11. When he told that World Tower will be broken, he told, indirectly he gave a hint, if you do not give up this hatred between religions, this dogmatism, this sectarianism, if you do not give up, you will have to pay a very heavy price. And we have to pay the heavy price. And we will have to pay more price if we do not accept the harmony of religions. That is the message he gave with the Parliament of Religions, Chicago in 1893. On 9/11, that is 11th September 1893, and there he declared, Shudvantu Vishre Amritasya Putra Aye Dhamani Divyani Tastu Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam Adityavarnam Tamasa Prastat Tameva Viditvati Mityameti Nanya Pantha Vidite Naya. I have seen the Ancient One who is beyond all misery. Shrita Upanishad says, and that Swami Vivekananda declared. He could say that because he had the direct perception. He had realized that Godhead. So this is in our own times. In our own times, Swami Vivekananda was born on 12 January 1863. On 4 July 1902, he passed away at the age of 39 years. The room is there kept as intact as it is. If you go to Belumat near Kolkata, you must visit Belumat. There is the room of Swami Vivekananda where you find as if Swamiji is sitting there. His table, his chair, his clothes, everything is there. So it is not a fancy, it is not a story from some incident from a storybook. Swami Vivekananda himself in our own times verified as a college student, and he himself experienced that Godhead. Yes, there is an ultimate reality, there is a center of consciousness, and Vedanta says there are two basic principles, fundamental principles of Vedanta, which is very important for us to know. These two principles, if we know, then we know the management of everyday life. What are the two fundamental principles of Vedanta? Number one, inside each and every human being, there is a center of consciousness. There is potential divinity. Inside every human being, there is divinity, infinite knowledge, infinite bliss, infinite happiness, infinite life. This is in every human being. It is already there. How to get it? Swami Vivekananda says, you don't have to get it. You already got it. Only you've forgotten about it. If ever I feel like blasphemy, Swami Vivekananda says, if ever I feel like blasphemy when I call you a man or a woman, you are not a man nor a woman. You are God. You are God. That is the first truth, that is the second truth, And there is the last truth. You are God, you are God, you are God. That is what he told in America. Then American disciples, one lady, she could not contain, Swami, you are trying to hypnotize us by telling you are God, you are God, you are God. Then Swami Vivekananda immediately replied, Madam, I am not trying to hypnotize you, I am trying to de-hypnotize you. Always thinking day and night, I am a sinner, I am a sinner, I am a sinner. You have become a sinner. You thought yourself to be sinner. No. You are God. This is the first truth, this is the second truth, this is the last truth. That is why he declared in the Parliament religions also, in Chicago he said, Ye the children of immortal bliss, holy and perfect beings, ye divinities and us sinners, it is a sin to call a man so. It is a standing liable on human nature. Come up, O lions, and shake up the delusion that you are sheep. Your souls immortal, spirits free, blessed and eternal. You are not matter, you are not bodies. Matter is a servant, not ye the servant of matter. Inside every human being, there is the center of consciousness, there is the first truth. Whether we know it or not, irrespective of caste, creed, color, religion, esha sarveshu bhuteshu gudo atmana prakashate drishyate tvagraya buddhya shukshmaya shukshmadarsibi. Inside every human being, there is a center of consciousness, that is Atman, potential divinity. Divinity of the soul, that is the first principle of Vedanta. And the second principle is solidarity of the whole universe. It is a holistic universe. The whole universe is connected at a deeper level. That is what Bell's theorem says, which has been verified by David Bohm. And our Upanishads, the Vedanta says, Isha vasamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjitha ma gridakasya siddhanam. The whole universe is permeated by that universal consciousness. So then what happens? If each and every human being, if the whole world is permeated by that Godhood, everywhere there is God, how can I betray that God? God is coming in the form of a customer. ग्राहक नारायण को क्या मैं कभी भी धोखा दे सकता हूं? Never. I can never betray the God coming in the form of the customer, God coming in the form of my employee, God coming in the form of my boss, God coming in the form of a colleague, God coming in the form of a husband, God coming in the form of wife. All divinity, they are coming inside every human being. There is a center of divinity. No need of cheating. Love, love, love. It is love and love alone that I have preached. And I base all my teachings on the great Vedantic truth of oneness and the omnipotence of the soul. Every human being has got that soul, that Atman. Perfection is there inside every human being. Respecting that divinity inside everybody. And everywhere, it is the same divinity which is present. Same. Isha vastyam midam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjitha. That is why enjoy the world. How? By renouncing it. How can I By renouncing, how can I enjoy the world? If I give up my car, latest model car, Mercedes-Benz, how can I enjoy? No, ride Mercedes-Benz car, but no, you are not the owner. If you get attached to that car, and if it misses an accident, you will become miserable. Number one. Number two, if it is taken away by the bank because you could not pay the loan, you will become miserable. And number three, if it is stolen, much more miserable. But ride, enjoy. Enjoy the ride. Don't get attached. And don't be selfish. Enjoy by renouncing it. That is, don't have selfishness. Enjoy with others. That is, share your joy. Share your joy with others and enjoy. Then it will not be followed by suffering. Every selfish pleasure will be followed by tremendous suffering. If you are the managing director of a firm, and if you have exploited your workers, and because of your exploitation, if the worker is sleeping there on the footpath, and he is not able to get sleep because he did not get food, because he was exploited by you, you are there on the 7th floor of your beautiful mansion with Dunlop pillow, with any number of tranquilizers, you cannot get sleep till that fellow gets sleep because of the lack of food. It cannot be. That is the holistic universe. That is the holistic universe. That is the holistic philosophy. That is the holistic style of management. Isha vasamidam sarvam This is the message that Swami Vivekananda gave to John D. Rockefeller. When Swami Vivekananda went to America, that was the time the richest person of the world was John D. Rockefeller, the emperor of petroleum industry. He had with his cutthroat competition, he had removed many competitors. And naturally, with the law of karma is supreme, as you know, as you saw, so you reap. If you have exploited others, you are going to get suffering. He was suffering terribly, and he was contemplating suicide. And one of his friends suggested, an Indian yogi has come my friend's house, why don't you meet him? You will get peace of mind. But Rockefeller said, what? I to go to a beggar to get advice? We are all beggars. With this dress, professional beggars. So he said, what? I to go to a beggar to get advice? No, I will not go. And he never go. He did not go. But one fine morning, suddenly, he came to the place where Swami Vivekananda was staying, called the bell, the butler opened the door. Swamiji was not in his drawing room, he was in his study room, and Rockefeller, without being announced, he immediately rushed inside and went to the study room where Swamiji was fully engrossed in study. And Swamiji had tremendous power of concentration. He was so fully engrossed, he did not notice Rockefeller coming. So Rockefeller came, stood for some time, and then knocked at the table. Then Swamiji looked up. Rockefeller said, I am Rockefeller. Then Swamiji asked, what do you want? Now Rockefeller was not prepared for this type of treatment. Rockefeller means the President of America would get up, and here's the fellow, the beggar, sitting on his chair and asking, what do you want? He became very much annoyed. I don't want anything. Then Swamiji asked, then why have you come? Now he had no answer. He had come without invitation. Then Swamiji said, my dear Rockefeller, I know why you have come. You come here because you do not have peace of mind. And then Swamiji started narrating many incidents from the life of Rockefeller which no one else knew except Rockefeller. Then Rockefeller became excited. Who has told all these things to you? Swamiji smiled and said, do you think it is necessary somebody should tell me? I can see through your mind as I can see through a glass almirah. Then Rockefeller was terrified. This fellow knows everything. All my ins and outs, all the weaknesses. Then Swami Vivekananda said, my dear friend, I'll give a piece of advice. If you want peace of mind, remember, you are not the owner of your wealth. You are only a custodian of your wealth. Utilize this money that has been given to you by God for removing the sufferings of millions of people, and immediately you will get peace of mind. There is no other way by which you can get peace of mind. And Rockefeller was not prepared to listen to anybody's advice, least of all from a beggar. He left abruptly, as abruptly had come, in annoyance. But after a few days, again, suddenly one fine morning, he came to the place where Swamiji was staying, again called the bell, the butler opened the door, he went inside, Swamiji was not in his drawing room, he went inside the study room, Swamiji was fully engrossed, he again knocked at the table, Swamiji looked up. Then Rockefeller put a piece of paper in which he had made an announcement of a very huge donation for a public cause. Swamiji read it. Rockefeller said, now you must thank me. I have followed your advice. Swamiji said, well, it is for you to thank me. Because by following my advice, you will get peace of mind which cannot be purchased by millions of dollars in the market. This is holistic management. Holistic style of management. Whole world is one. You cannot cheat others and get peace of mind. It can never be. You are only a trustee. Isha vasamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. This message of trusteeship management, which later on popularized by Gandhiji but was given by Swami Vivekananda to Rockefeller. Sri Ramakrishna taught it to Mathurnath Bishwas. This trusteeship management, you are only a trustee, a custodian of your wealth. Tena Taktena Bhunjitha. Give up this wealth, distribute it among the poor, and enjoy the life. Tena Taktena Bhunjitha Ma Gruda Kasa Siddhanam. Do not covet anybody else's wealth and utilize this money for removing the sufferings of people. This trusteeship management principle Swamiji had given. This is holistic management. So these are the two principles of Vedanta. Number one, the divinity of the soul, and second, the solidarity of the whole universe. These principles are the foundations, stones of this great philosophy of management, the holistic style of management, based on which we are going to discuss about all the methods, the equipment, the tools of management of everyday life. The first of all, we have to clear the ground. Begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end. So, what is the purpose of life? Decide once for all. At least this much we can say. I ask anybody, so many youngsters I ask, how many of you want happiness? And how many of you are suffering? Everybody opts for happiness. Okay, how much happiness you want? 5 kilo or 10 kilo? 10 kilo. 10 kilo or 20 kilo? 20 kilo. 20 kilo, 40 kilo, 40 kilo. Then how much should I give when you will say, I don't want anymore? No, we want infinite happiness. Everybody wants infinite happiness. Everybody wants unlimited knowledge. And everybody wants to live eternally. Nobody wants to die. What is your plan? When do you want to die? 58 years or 59 years? Don't ask me this question, very uncomfortable question. I don't want to die. Even those persons who want to commit suicide, they also don't want death, mind you. They don't want death. You tell them, why are you committing suicide? Please don't commit suicide. No, I will commit suicide. I don't want to live. But actually they want to live. But they will say, I don't want to live. Then what is the problem? Problem is that I love that girl and my parents are not allowing. No, I talked to your parents. They have told they will allow. Oh, then I will not die. Please die. No. Then I will not die. Now make preparations for my marriage. So this was a temporary affair because that temporary problem was there, but ultimately nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to live forever. Now, that is how we can understand. Our scriptures, they say, the wise people said, our basic true nature is Sat Chit Ananda. This is our true nature. The Atman, inside everybody, has got this nature. What is that? Sat Chit Ananda. Sat means existence, infinite existence. Chit, infinite knowledge. Ananda, infinite bliss. This is our true nature. This is what they are saying. But can we rationally analyze this? Well, if you want, then this is the simile. If you take a fish out of water, what happens? Gasping for breath. It will die. Why? Because the nature of fish is to remain with water. It is its very nature. Take out from water the fish and the fish will start getting out of breath. Similarly, our true nature is Sat Chit Ananda. And when we don't get it, we start becoming restless. And all of us are restless. Why? Because we are away from that Sat Chit Ananda. This is the fundamental truth. When we get this Sat Chit Ananda, then only our restlessness will go. At present, we are like fish out of water. Because our basic nature is Sat Chit Ananda. Why? Everybody wants Sat. Everybody wants to live. And how much existence? We want infinite existence. Everybody wants unlimited knowledge. Everybody wants unlimited bliss, unlimited happiness. No quota system there. Unlimited happiness. That is why we want it, because that is our true nature. We cannot but be satisfied with anything less than infinite happiness. Anything less than infinite life. Anything less than infinite knowledge. That is our true nature. So this is the purpose of life. The ultimate aim of every human being, irrespective of caste, creed, color, religion or nationality, is to get infinite knowledge, infinite bliss, infinite happiness. This has been told in various ways in various religions. There may be grosser language or finer language, but this is what Christ says. The kingdom of his heaven is within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Seek ye the kingdom of God, and everything else shall be added unto you. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and everything else shall be added unto you. This is the message. Islam also says the best is human being. Only Shaitan did not believe it. That is why it became Shaitan. Shaitan did not recognize it. But God made man in his own image. So man, human being, is the topmost ladder of the topmost step of the whole ladder. That is what is a human being is. So that is why when we have cleared the ground that every human being has got this aim of life, that is manifesting the divinity. So Swami Vivekananda has given beautifully the whole gist of Vedanta in his book on Raj Yoga. He says, each soul is potentially divine. The goal of human life is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature, external and internal. Do this either by work, worship, psychic control or philosophy, by one or more or all of these, and be free. This is the whole of religion. Dogmas, rituals, worships, temples, churches, mosques are but secondary details. This is the whole of religion. Each soul is potentially divine. Inside every human being, there is the divinity. Now, the goal of human life is to manifest this divinity. How? By controlling nature, external and internal. This is external nature, internal nature. And this can be done by 4 methods. Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga. Knowledge, Jnana Yoga. Dhyana, meditation, Raj Yoga. Devotion, love of God, Bhakti Yoga. And converting work into worship, Karma Yoga. By 1 or 2 or 3 or combination of all the 4 yogas, that will give you the manifestation of the divinity. And Swami Vivekananda says, this is the whole of religion. Dogmas, rituals, worships are but secondary details. Whether you have gone 10 times to temple or 15 times, doesn't matter. If you have not gone any time, doesn't matter. Have you manifested the divinity? By barometer, we can know what is the pressure. By thermometer, we can know what is the temperature. Is there any thermometer by we can know how much one person is religious or how much spiritual one person is? There is no such measurement. But Swami Vivekananda gives a test. He says, unselfishness is the test of religion. Unselfishness is the test of religion. And then he says in his book Karma Yoga, beautifully, even if a person has not visited a single temple, church or mosque throughout his life, even if he has not read any scripture throughout his life, if he has not observed any ritual of any religion throughout his life, but his heart has expanded so much that he wants to sacrifice his life for serving others, he is the most spiritual person in the world. Can you imagine a religious preacher telling, even if you don't believe in religion, even if you don't believe in God, even if you don't believe in temple or church, even if you have not gone a single time, but if you feel for others, if you have become unselfish and you have become so unselfish that you want to give up your life for the sake of others, you are the most spiritual person in the world. So spirituality is nothing but unselfishness. Unselfishness and purity, these two are the yardsticks by which we have to measure the spirituality of a person. Not by external form, not by external dresses, not by external forms, not by external rituals. This is a new revolutionary definition that Swami Vivekananda gives for our modern man. Don't bother about all these rituals. But main thing is how much manifestation of the divinity. And he says there are 4 methods. You may take up any method that you like. All the 4 yogas are capable of independently taking you to that ultimate reality. Then we ask Swami Vivekananda, which will you prescribe for me? Swamiji says, you take up whatever you like. But what about you? What you have taken? Swamiji said, I have taken all the four. Why not combine all the four? If all the four yogas are good, let us have quickly the manifest the divinity. That is why Roma Rolla says, the Nobel Prize winner, that Swami Vivekananda rode on all the four yogas for all the four horses simultaneously. He rode on all the four yogas. And the modern management theory, what does it say? Modern management theory says maximum utilization of all the resources, maximum utilization of all the faculties. Now what are the faculties you have got? We have got a faculty of working with our hands and feet. So Swami Vivekananda says, why not work for the Lord? That is Karma Yoga. Then we also have mind. Why not meditate on God with that mind? That is Raj Yoga. And then we have got an intellect. Why not try to think about the ultimate reality of God? That is Jnana Yoga. And then every one of us got a heart. And with that heart, we want to give love and we want to receive love. And how much love? I ask the youngsters, how much love you want? 10 kg or 20 kg? Infinite love we want. We want to receive infinite love and we want to give infinite love. And infinite trust, but our expectation, sometimes we give 10 kg of love and we receive 9 kg and we become depressed. Oh, I received only 9 kg, I gave 10 kg and 1 kg less, we become depressed. And Swami Vivekananda says, at long last you will understand, it is not possible to meet the expectation. Only God is full of love. He alone can give you more than expected. Because ultimately, no human being can remain satisfied with limited love. We want infinite love. And that can come from only that limitless God. So ultimately, we will have to go for loving God. And that is the religion of love. And that is Bhakti Yoga. So, Swami Vivekananda says, when you got a heart, why not love God? By loving whom, we will never come to regret. So many youngsters come to me, I loved him and then he deceived me and went away for another girl. Then they weep. But no weeping here. If you love God, He will never fail you. There is no regret. Love God. By loving Him, you never come to regrets. You never come to misery. So love Him. That is religion of love, Bhakti Yoga. So Swami Vivekananda says, all these four yogas have got their advantages and have got their disadvantages. Yogas are not bad. But we have got our own limitations because of which we cannot derive the full advantage of the yogas. How? For example, Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga is a shortcut method. Immediately you fly. But there is a danger of accident. Shurasya dhara nishita duratya durgam pathas tat kavyo vadanti. That path of knowledge is very dangerous, like walking on the edge of a razor. That is path. So it is dangerous path. Moreover, it is a dry path, Jnana Yoga. So why not mix it with Bhakti Yoga, which is very palatable? Bhakti Yoga, full of love. Everybody wants love. So singing the glories of God, praying to God, taking the name of the Lord, taking good prasad. These are all palatable things, palatable prasad. These are all good things. It may take longer time with Bhakti Yoga, but it is palatable. But Jnana Yoga, shortcut, but dry and dangerous. Mix all the two, both the two. So, by mixing Bhakti Yoga with Jnana Yoga, you will remove the dryness of Jnana Yoga, plus the immediate, getting immediately to the goal, that particular facility of Jnana Yoga will be added into Bhakti Yoga. Then Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is very simple for us because everyone wants to do work. So we can work. But no, whatever work is not Karma Yoga. It is Karma Bhoga. It becomes Karma Yoga only when we have a spirit of detachment towards the results. That is, Karmani vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karmafal heturbhu mate sangosta akarmani. Buddhi yukta jahatiya ube sukrita dushkrite tasmat yogaya yujasva yoga karmasu kaushalam. That yoga becomes yoga, that karma yoga which will become Karma Yoga only when there is a sense of detachment, spirit of detachment. So this Karma Yoga is very good. We are doing work, but what happens? We get glorified. We become egoistic. Don't you know how much work I have carried out? I have constructed a big hospital. 10,000 patients I have served. Do you know? Yes, and my photograph is on the front page. See the newspaper today. So, basically, true spirituality involves complete eradication of our selfish ego. It has already blowed up. Rather, you have gone behind. You have gone back. It is a reverse journey. So then what to do? Combine it with Bhakti Yoga. I have not done it. I am just an instrument. It's Lord who gave me the power of doing so much of work. It is all Lord's glory. If you make it with Bhakti Yoga, then your ego is gone. It will not become dangerous. That Karma Yoga will not become dangerous, but rather it will lead you towards God. So combining all the 4 yogas gives us the advantage of all the 4 yogas minus their disadvantages. And that is why Swami Vivekananda says combine 4 yogas. How to do it? The monks of Ramakrishna Mission and the devotees of Ramakrishna Mission, what do? We have got our ashramas. Morning 5 o'clock, there is Mangal Arati. So all will come to the temple, come to the shrine. There is prayer, that is Bhakti Yoga. There is meditation, that is Raj Yoga. There will be some scripture reading, Gita and from Bhagavad Gita and all that, that is Jnana Yoga. Then whole day we will be working. Whole day we will be working. We will have our own duties. Somebody will go to the hospital, somebody will go to the schools, somebody will have other welfare activities. So we have got various types of service activities. All will be doing service activities. In the evening again, there will be prayer, Bhakti Yoga. There will be meditation, Raj Yoga. There will be again some reading, Jnana Yoga. And whole day, Karma Yoga. So this is how we are trying. So Swami Vivekananda says for the modern man, because of various reasons, we have limited time, we have shortage of time, life is very fast and life has become so much difficult. We have to earn money, we have to work. So a modern man will have to give more emphasis to Karma Yoga. But it must be backed up by the other 3 yogas, otherwise you will be lost. You will become workaholic rather than becoming Karma Yogi. And this is what happens. And then suddenly we get tension, and then suddenly we enter into the intensive care unit, working very hard. But then this balancing does not come. So that is why Swami Vivekananda says combine all the 4 yogas. Now, this combining all the 4 yogas, practicing these 4 yogas will lead us to manifestations of the divinity, which will give us happiness, infinite bliss, infinite knowledge, and infinite life, eternal life. We will conquer death. But what about happiness of everyday life? What about management of everyday life? Well, curiously, the same practice of the same 4 yogas will all solve all the problems of daily life. Just see. Whatever challenges we are facing in the modern life, all these problems will be easy to tackle with when we combine these 4 yogas, when we practice these 4 yogas in our daily life. You yourself will find out. Management of everyday life. So, in the context of these 4 yogas, Raj Yoga consists of 8 steps. That is Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi. Yama consists of 5. Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, Ahimsa. And Niyama again consists of Shauch, Santosh, Tap, Swadhyay, Ishwar Pranidhan. So, 5 Yama, that is Satya, truthfulness, Asteya, non-stealing, Brahmacharya, continence, and then Aparigraha, non-covetousness, and Ahimsa, non-injury. And Niyama, Shauch, purity, Santosh, contentment, Tap, austerity, Swadhyay, study, and Ishwar Pranidhan, surrender to God. These 5 Niyamas and 5 Yama. And then Asana, then Pranayam, then Pratyahar. Pratyahar means withdrawing the mind from the unwanted objects. Then Dharana, fixing the mind on a particular top, on a particular spot, on a particular Pratyaya. And Dhyan, meditation. and samadhi, full absorption, chitta vritti nirodha. So these 8 steps of Raj Yoga. And Gyan Yoga is Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasan. That is listening or reading the truth, reading good books, and then thinking over it, analyzing it, and third, contemplating on the facts. That is Gyan Yoga. And Bhakti Yoga, religion of love, mantra, japam, taking the name of the Lord, singing kirtanas, singing bhajans, devotional songs, external worship, rituals. These are all Bhakti Yoga. And Karma Yoga, converting work into worship, either by sheer willpower, not getting attached to the results of the work, or by devotion to God, whatever way. So these 4 yogas, when we practice, that is, when we study good books, ennobling books, with meaningfulness, morning and evening, for some time, we will have balancing of mind. We have prayers morning and evening, Bhakti Yoga. We have balancing of mind. We have meditation, morning, evening, that will calm down our nerves. Swami Vivekananda says, the calmer we are, the less disturbed our nerves, the more shall we love, and the better will our work be. The calmer we are, the less disturbed our nerves, the more shall we love, and the better will our work be. So that balancing will come through the combination of these 4 yogas. So the same practice of 4 yogas will not only give us ultimate reality, infinite joy, infinite happiness, infinite bliss, eternal life, but will also give us the power of combating the problems of everyday life. So this is just an introduction to the very, very important topic of management of everyday life. Now we have various topics: management of money, management of mind, management of time, management of marriage, management of birth, management of death, management of relationships, management of work, management of health, management of crisis, management of stress, management of family. So many other managements are waiting. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we are going to discuss about it. Today, I will first, because I was told that it is better that every day we have some questions, because the same people may not come the next day. If I take the questions today and answer tomorrow, the persons who have asked the question may not be there. So we will have a brief question answer session, and then other discussions I will try to answer the questions just now, as much time is permitting, and then we will have discussions tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Thank you very much.